Hey guys, Anime Core 85 here, and today I kind of wanted to do another gaming slash anime rant because I haven't done one in quite a while, and it's mostly because I've been too busy on work, too busy making Let's Plays, and I thought it'd be fun to do a brand new anime slash gaming rant. And today I wanted to talk about a little bit about Beast Tamer because it's an anime I really love. It kind of reminds me of Interspecies Reviewers, which is another one I should recommend you guys to go watch because it's actually funny, it's hilarious, and just to keep in mind, you need to watch the subbed version of Interspecies Reviewers. Don't watch the English version, just watch the subbed version. It has everything, and you get to watch the naughty bits as well, too, compared to the English version, okay? Watch the subbed version because it has all 12 episodes, alright? Especially episode 3. That one is really good. And there's also another one called The World's End Harem, and that one is even more hilarious. I swear, watching World's End Harem is like essentially watching a lot of fun stuff happening on the screen. But yeah, definitely go check out those two. If ecchi and harem are your things, okay? For those who don't, feel free to click away from this video, alright? Anyways, so for Beast Tamer is a really, really good anime because it actually, it's really funny. Essentially, it's all about this guy named Rain who apparently gets kicked out of a Adventurers Guild because apparently he, what can I say? He has the ability to tame beasts, and for those who didn't actually watch my anime recommendations video, which, keep in mind, I kind of actually got rid of it because, obviously, there's just a lot of issues when it comes to using anime footage, mostly due to copyright problems, because the copyright system is so outdated that it really needs to be updated. Anyways, so yes, Beast Tamer is about this guy named Rain who gets kicked out of a Adventurers Guild because obviously the guild are a big bunch of dicks, and they decided, you know what, Rain, you're completely out, you are useless to us, and etc., etc. So eventually Rain finds himself outside wondering, oh, okay, what am I supposed to do? Then next thing you know, he starts his own little guild, but I think he joins up with the Heroes Guild. Yeah, he starts his own Heroes Guild, so he ends up joining that, and let's just say, yeah, he ends up forming his own harem. So, his first task is to go out and rescue a lovely cat spirit, or neko if you want to use some Japanese terminology here. So yes, he rescues a cat spirit called Kinare, and Kinare, I kind of actually do like her personality somewhat. It's actually really, really cute. It's adorable, and yeah, it's one of a kind. And honestly, the one thing I love about Rain in general is that like later on in a much more later episode, you actually see him like literally take on the Heroes Guild. Actually, Scratch what I said in the beginning. The Heroes Guild he was part of, but he joins a Adventurers Guild. But yeah, so he's part of a Adventurers Guild. Sorry for the situation there. Anyways, so yeah, he ends up forming his own little party of an Adventurers Guild, and mostly it's just with all girls, which, hey, girls are awesome. Especially, like, especially the lollies. The lollies with big boobs are amazing. If there are any actually lollies that actually have big boobs. Probably some. Although, would Ree's Grimmery be considered a lolly? I don't think Ree's Grimmery is actually considered a lolly. But let's just say that Ree's Grimmery is actually a very sexy lady. Very sexy, and yes. And I am referencing High School DxD, so hey. Don't write in the comments saying, you're bringing up High School DxD, how dare you? It's like, hey, High School DxD is really one of the best animes you should watch. Okay? For those who haven't seen it, go watch it. High School DxD is probably the best, absolutely stupidest goddamn main protagonist who is so completely so full of himself. He does look quite the douchebag, and he does look kind of stupid, honestly. Meanwhile, all the rest of the cast of female characters are really, really sexy and cute and adorable with big boobs. And seriously. And I believe they actually give him some boob power, which I'm not even going to begin to even going into that, honestly. But yes, for Beast Tamer, though, it's really interesting because after he basically enslaves Kanade, he then eventually begins his next quest on going after a Dragonoid. Essentially a dragon girl. A girl who's essentially half human, half dragon. So, yeah, she can transform into a dragon at will. And all that coolness and shit. Do I need to say more? No, I don't really. But yes, overall, like, I love Beast Tamers because of how amazing it is, and that's one thing I love about anime is because in general, anime is probably like one of those cool, awesome things that, you know, if you didn't grow up watching cartoons as a child, your future is very, very bleak. I'm sorry. You have a very bleak future ahead of you if you did not grow up watching anime and playing video games. Okay, I believe me. I have grown up watching both anime and actually playing some video games. Actually, video games is like my main hobby, and anime is like my second hobby. Okay, and you know what? Anyone can have more than one hobby, honestly. And you know what? That's the problem I face with society in the real world, is that society in the real world have no hobbies whatsoever, because they're all too busy focusing on families and other shit. Meanwhile, they don't even remotely take a look at anime and realize how amazing anime is. I mean, like, especially if you consider about all these like westernized companies that are literally like trying to destroy anime completely because honestly, what Western media doesn't really want to admit is the fact is that anything that comes out of Japan is really, really creative. The West is not really good at being creative. I'm just saying, okay? Now, that doesn't mean everybody is bad at creating anime. No. Or bad at creating anything. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, the companies themselves are bad at creating some really, really good shit compared to companies in Japan that are better at it. Okay? Seriously. I mean, let's look at Sony, for example. Sony right now is screwing pretty much everyone over with their whole ideas when it comes to pleasing their fan base when it comes to PlayStation. And Funimation is pretty much not what it was, okay? Not what it was till, like, you know, if you go back to, like, the early to late 2000s, back when, you know, Bleach was really good. Oh my god. Bleach was a really cool, awesome anime. Hell, I mean, Inuyasha was even good as well, too. Let me see. Sailor Moon. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. It was Bleach, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Oh my god, Hamtaro. Wait, I forget. Was Hamtaro part of Funimation? I think it was. But I remember Hamtaro. My god. There are so many other ones. I think I've seen a little bit of Yu Yu Hakusho. That one I do remember watching. But yeah, the general idea here is that anime is awesome, okay? Anime and gaming, both of those things are the most amazing thing ever. And when it comes from Japan, you know it's good in itself. It's really good when it comes from Japan. But when it comes to the West is terrible, okay? Anything that comes from West, minus, you know, independent companies, outside of California, they're good. Okay, I've played my fair share of games like those. Okay, I mean, what is it? What was like the last? I mean, Severed Steel. That's a really really great game. If you guys have never ever touched it, because considering that Severed Steel is a really awesome. I mean, I believe it's made by an independent artist. I mean, independent. Yeah, really really small company. So yeah, that's really good. I mean, there are nowadays like popping up. There are a lot of really good independent artists and creators these days. Like literally, I mean, hell, if you go to here on YouTube, there's even like a lot of really really good, awesome, creative people. Because hey, you want some creative stuff. YouTube is where it's at because there are a lot of really cool, awesome YouTubers that really do really, really creative shit. Like seriously, I mean, a good idea of one of them is called Blade Devil, and it was developed with the main guy who created it was Raging Golden Eagle. Now, obviously, the only reason why I bring him up is, I mean, he's a cool guy, but some of his stuff I don't completely agree with, but I'm not gonna go into that realm because he ends up, spewing up a lot of political bullshit that honestly I don't have any interest for whatsoever. But yeah, and in general, his comic is cool, I guess. I mean, I haven't actually fully read it yet because honestly, I don't know. I have like way too much shit on my mind. Like literally, I have like way too much shit going on between school, work, and etc. And yeah, the one anime I did actually check out early this morning was Romantic Killer, and it features this girl who she's kind of like of a NEET NEET. I forget what it stands for, but essentially she's kind of what you would call as a shut-in. Um, you could also say that she's an otaku sort of, but she's wildly crazy, and so she ends up she went outing during like the first 10 minutes. Is she gets a really cool awesome package. She opens it up. It's like a brand new game or something, and I don't even because the whole thing it's all written in kanji. Okay, it's all written in Japanese kanji, so you could barely understand like what it is. But essentially, like later half, she puts in the whole entire game, and the first thing that you end up seeing is a lot of weird imaging of a lot of really sexy, hot looking guys that women these day and age would just be so obsessed with that they would fall over on their heels and man, I want that guy. That guy is so hot. That guy is so cool. He's just like that guy from Arrow. What is his name? Stephen Amell? And yeah. So yes, there's that. And honestly, this day and age, like getting to a good relationship is just really really hard. And honestly, it's pointless, literally. I mean, at least to me, because considering I've had bad experiences when it comes to asking women out. Because considering my record for getting rejected has at least accumulated to at least 5 to 6 times, at least. And I've only dated one chick, which was almost about 15 years ago, or not even. Wait, let me see. It's 2022, so yeah, about 11 years ago. 11 years ago. Okay, so we're going back to 2013. Okay, 2013, which is about 11 years ago. Okay. That's how long I've remained as a single person, and literally. But yes, the whole entire thing is, anime in general is it's awesome because even if you go on places like DeviantArt and you go to all sorts of different cool awesome websites that really have like a lot of cool awesome anime. I mean, hell, even like Google. If you go to Google Images, you can find a lot of really, really awesome, sexy looking anime, and it's awesome. I remember what was the other anime I remember hearing about. Mocking Key. I remember watching a little bit of that. Though to be honest, I haven't really seen like a lot of it actually, because I mean I think that's like a really super old anime, but still, there are some really interesting animes out there these days. I mean hell, there's even hentai, which is even impressive. So yes, uh, I guess what I'm trying to say is that anime and hentai are so much better than real life women, and also in general. They're so much better than what you see in reality. Reality is just full of bullshit, like literally. Like the amount of shit that you get from reality is just stupid. I mean, like not to mention that like the thing about anime and video games in general is that they provide a lot more interesting stuff and a lot more good, awesome advice compared to what you hear or we hear from people say to you in reality. Like, like in reality, they always say, oh, there's a right choice and a wrong choice. But I played a video game called I think it was like Batora or something. It's like how could I explain it? It's like oh my god. What's that one Hades. There we go. It's like Hades. If you guys have seen some gameplay of Hades, that's what I'm talking about. It's kind of like that. And in one of the tutorials, I remember it saying something like how there is no right and wrong. There is no right and wrong decisions, just different choices. Or I mean, no, just different consequences. Different consequences. And you know what? That's true. No matter what choice you make in life, the consequences you get out of it, is determined by the choices that you make. Honestly, that's one thing I've learned. I mean, hell, I mean, any video game and any anime that you watch, or even movie for that matter, the choices you make kind of affect like the outcome of the direction you're going in. And even if it's like let's say that the job you currently work at, okay, let's use Target for example. Okay, you currently work at Target, but then you're at the point now where it's like, okay, what's the point of me being here? I mean, I like all my friends, but what would happen if I leave? And then of course, you're left in your mind wondering, okay, I mean, if I stay here at Target, I will be with my friends, and I don't want to leave them. But then at the same time, if I end up leaving, I want to see my friends. But at least I wouldn't have to be bothered by all these goddamn customers that end up like trying to piss me off. Which is currently like how I currently feel right now, honestly, in general. I mean, clearly, this past Sunday was horrible. Okay, it was horrible. Okay, around like 12:45 to 12:50. Okay, there was a shitload of customers coming in and like wanting my help in several different areas like of the store, like several different aisles, and each of the aisles was like, God, it was like crazy. Like I could tell by my boss, oh, hey, someone needs to go and assist in A31. Oh, someone needs to go and assist in A5. Someone needs to go assist, I guess, in A2 or whatever. And it's like, okay, I am currently swamped with a whole bunch of people right now. Can someone else go get it? And it got so bad that like I literally like ended up just going home crying, like literally, because of how terrible it got. I mean, the stress level I was feeling like right after that was so ginormous that my brain was literally going over the limit. Like my anger level rise so much that I basically just started ending up just crying, like literally crying because of how annoying it was. And not to mention that like all the advices that my bosses like gave me were not helpful at all. They were not, and that's one of the things of what kind of like pissed me off in the first place. But man, whenever like I watch anime or if I watch any Western cartoon show where that's like Code Lyoko or the old show that I used to watch when I was a kid was Totally Spies. Totally Spies was such a good cartoon show on Cartoon Network for those who didn't grow up with it. Hands down, it was probably like one of the best cartoon shows ever. That alongside Powerpuff Girls. Let's see, Powerpuff Girls, Code Lyoko, Totally Spies, Pokemon, Sailor Moon. I guess The Great Adventures of Billy and Mandy was okay, I suppose. Let me see what else. Dexter's Laboratory, that was interesting. I never really got much into Pinky and the Brain, but that was definitely one of the good ones. Animaniacs, totally. Shaolin Showdown, totally, another good one. And there's like a several bunch more. But the one thing I do actually liked, I think like the best from romance anime, I kind of actually thought was cool that had like a little bit of adventure into it was Inuyasha. That was one of like probably one of the best cool all time animes ever. For those who didn't actually watch Inuyasha, totally, totally go watch Inuyasha. Considering it deals with love, romance, and a total bit of jealousy because obviously it's like Inuyasha is side between two different chicks of the same caliber. Kikyo from 3 to 5 years ago or 25 years ago, and then there's Kagome who's a modern day high school chick with the same hairstyle, but ends up living next to a special well that can basically teleport her between the modern and feudal era of Japan. Which, might I add, is a really interesting idea. Okay? Where do American westernized shows come up? No, wait. The question was, where can American westernized shows come up with that ideas? They can't. They just can't. Because the Western has no creative imagination. And you want to know the reason why is because a lot of them just end up just going to mostly just college. And then, of course, by the time they get out of it, they've learned absolutely nothing. I mean, seriously, like, if you come from Japan and you go to America, don't expect a lot of American and tell them about, oh, hey, have you watched this anime? Have you watched this anime? A lot of them will just say, no, I really haven't. Anime is not really my thing. But there are some people like myself that actually do love anime and video games. I actually like them both. Although video games I spend more time on than I do with anime. But that's just here near there. But I'm not saying as that I hate anime. Hell no. No. I love anime. I love the tsunderes, the lollies, the dragons, the Neko girls, what is it? I love that one anime, Monster Musume. Monster Musume was probably like one of the coolest animes. I love animes that deal with ecchi and some stupid hilariousness that goes along with it. Because that's what makes anime so good and enjoyable, is the experience and the most amazing thing ever. Plus, not to mention, you can choose between if you want to watch an anime in English or if you want to watch it in full Japanese. With some English subtitles added to it. The pudding is there in front of you. It's like, do you want the chocolate or do you want the vanilla? Most people would go with the vanilla, but other people like chocolate. I mean, seriously. Women in general love chocolate. And meanwhile, I prefer vanilla over chocolate. But there are some, okay, when it comes to like hot chocolate, okay, I'm cool with. When it comes to a white mocha, okay, cool. When it comes to just a normal, traditional, like, vanilla latte or something, okay, sure, I'll take that, even though it still has vanilla in it, and it's not really necessarily a chocolate latte, but still. Anything goes. But yeah, I'll just end this here, okay? To everyone out there, enjoy anime, and you know what, don't let Western companies try to destroy it, especially when it comes from either Sony or Funimation or whoever, okay? And that's actually what the Western's trying to do, is try to destroy anime. Because if you look at Netflix, like, they pretty much, like, they got rid of some really good top tier animes like Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think Death Note. I'm not sure if Death Note is still on there, but I think they got rid of it. And then there are some other good ones. I mean, Code Geass is still there, which actually is still good. That's still also one of the best animes back in the early to late 2000s. That's a really, really good anime. For those who didn't ever watch Code Geass, that's a really, really good anime. I love Code Geass. I actually love that anime now versus how I was growing up because I never really got quite into it, but now I actually like it, and it's a really one of those good animes. Romantic Killer, I'm gonna still try to do a little bit more exploration behind that anime because it's interesting. Beast Tamers for sure, definitely a good anime. Definitely check it out. Go watch it. It's free on 9anime. Unless, of course, you want to pay for it over on Crunchyroll, have at it. But honestly, save your money and just go watch it for free on 9anime. And you can use an ad blocker, so that way it blocks ads, and you can just watch it freely to your heart's content. There's a whole bunch of other good ones as well. Let me see. Overlord. I tried watching Overlord. I remember watching a little bit of Overlord. Overlord was probably like one of those interesting animes, but yeah, I couldn't really get into it. Let me see. How Not to Summon the Demon Lord. That one was interesting. I do remember that one. That one was a really awesome, interesting anime. Konosuba, definitely really interesting. Although the abridged version I mostly liked just because of how hilarious it is, and I really wish Lord Daedrift, who's a YouTube creator, would actually continue the series with Konosuba Bridge. Let's see, what other ones can I name? I can name a whole bunch of them, but yes. Try to defend anime to heart's content, because obviously I know the whole entire censorship when it comes to anime and gaming and such, it's going to end eventually. That is what's going to happen eventually. Alright? But yes, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe bell icon with all notifications enabled if you wish to see more videos like these go up. And I do apologize if I haven't been uploading as much as I should of these rants and such, because I feel like I've hit myself in a roadblock and others. And let's see, what else? God, this upcoming Thursday, I am gonna be doing some live streaming for Persona 5 Royal, so come by, check that out. And let's see, what else? There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. If you guys are actually enjoying my Let's Play for Jak and Daxter, that's totally what's happening. Currently, I think we just got towards the volcanic crater, and we also did some exploration in the spider cave, which, might I add, is probably the worst area I don't like visiting. Mostly because I just hate spiders in general. Oh god. God, spiders actually give me a nightmare. Mostly I get that from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, because god damn it, I hate... The first area I really hate exploring is the Deku Tree. God, I hate the Deku Tree because of how creepy and awful it is. Seriously. Although then again, I suppose Twilight Princess is even worse. Maybe. I don't know. Feel free to drop a comment about that, honestly, and start a debate about that. I'd be very, very curious to see what people will come up with. But yes, anyways, yeah, feel free to comment down below what you thought about all this stuff that I just said, and yeah, come by probably again tomorrow, or yeah, probably tomorrow for some more Let's Play Jak and Daxter. If not, you guys can definitely look forward to my, if not, you guys could probably look forward to seeing my live stream on Thursday as well, so that'll be fun. Alright, with that, this is Anime Core 5. See you guys then, take care.